Hello everyone, today I'm going to be presenting a case study in population and the environment in A-level geography. I am planning to be making more videos now. I'm sort of trying to get through population and the environment, so I'm only looking at what is in a textbook. And talking about this textbook, I was using the CUP, like revision one, and I've realised it is very negative about Knowsley, so I have tried to look up some things to show that it's doing a lot better now, and there is also going to be a different video that I have linked on the PowerPoint, and I'm going to put it in the description so you can watch it. I think it's pretty good. It's made by the council, but I'll talk about it when it comes up. So in the specification it says that you need a case study about illustrating the relationship between place and health related to physical environment, socioeconomic character, and experience and attitudes of its population. So it's very concrete what you need to know, and I've tried to sort of have only the most important things that you need in this case study, because there was a lot of information. So some things I cut out, but it should be alright. Okay, so generally, Knowsley is part of the Liverpool city. It has a mix of industrial and housing estates and farmland. It has a population of 147,000. Health is worse than average in overall the UK, and it ranks 145 out of 150 for premature deaths in the UK. And premature deaths in Knowsley are around 58 out of 100,000. So for every 100,000 deaths, 58 of them are premature, compared to 33 in England overall. The life expectancy in Knowsley compared to the UK is around 3 years lower. So for women that's 80, and for men that's 76. So that's sort of how I remember it. That in the UK it's 83, so just take off 3. For men it's 79, so I take off 3. And common causes of death are cancer, specifically with the lungs, circulatory disease, so heart diseases, and respiratory disease, so lung diseases. So about the physical and built environment, 60% of the land in Knowsley is green space that can be used for recreation, physical activity, social meetups, and if it's used by the people, it can have a positive impact on health and mental well-being. However, only 10% is actually used by the population of Knowsley. So Knowsley Health and Wellbeing Board created this green space strategy in 2010 to 2014. It had £8 million invested into it, and some successes that I have found online is that 8.1 million visits are made to Knowsley parks each year, and there were 27,000 volunteer hours per annum, and has given £72 million contributions to the gross added value of Knowsley, and has helped the economy through increased profit and reduced costs. This is the video I was talking about, and it generally just mentions the sort of impacts that this has had on the people living there, and some of the things it sort of said was that it's taught them things. It's this one person I think had I think he did a level 1 course about teaching kids with football and stuff, because one of the parks have been made into this football thing. They've regenerated this, I think it's this lake actually, and stuff. So overall the population seems to be very happy. There's parks with playgrounds, and this one person was saying how they try to sort of make try to once a month try to bring all these kids together and to sort of do something outside. It is very positive. I think it's gone in a positive direction, definitely. In terms of housing, in 2011, 27% of private homes failed the decent home standard. Examples of what would be in these houses is leaky roofs, inadequate heating, insufficient insulation. So these houses are cold and damp, and that can increase risk of respiratory diseases such as asthma, pneumonia, and also bronchitis. Air quality is impacted by traffic. There's 2 motorways that go through Knowsley, but there's also a coal-fired power station, and these sort of things are linked to respiratory problems, premature births, and low birth weights, which is obviously negative because it predisposes the kids for health conditions. Okay, so some of these socioeconomic conditions. So in 2015, it had a high unemployment rate. 7.7 of working age people were out of work, compared to national average in England being 5.5%. Unemployment is linked to an unhealthy lifestyle, 2 times more likely to smoke. Knowsley, 30% of adults smoke compared to 20% average, and 24% of deaths for people aged 35 plus is due to smoking related illnesses compared to the 80% nationally. The council is working on increasing number of jobs by increasing availability and encourage businesses to relocate to Knowsley's industrial park to improve public transport, making jobs more accessible. Since then, the unemployment rate has gone down to 4.3% in 2023, though it has risen to 4.6% in 2024, which I think is very good to be lower than the national average in 2015, though I don't know what the national average is now. That's just something I found online. So in terms of income, it's lower than average with a gross weekly median earnings of £475, where England's average is around £540. And something I also researched is that they said that there has been a large cut in funding for the council, which has led to decreased wages, like in like nowadays. I don't know exactly what year it was, but definitely 2020s. So seems something that may have not been able to be, changed. In terms of mental health, low income can contribute to anxiety and depression. There was 8.7% of residents in Knowsley being diagnosed with these, compared to 6.5% average in the UK. In terms of education, 25% of people aged 16 to 64 don't have any qualifications, compared to 15% across the UK and Wales, which I think this is probably a metric in like 2011. It didn't say it in the book, but that's what I'm assuming, because they probably used the census data. So overall, in Knowsley, they achieved average lower GCSE grades. In 2016, the Knowsley Education Commission launched this thing called Achieving Educational Excellence to improve education by attracting outstanding teachers and improving school facilities, but in modern day it's showing mixed results. But overall, the pathway to success, which is I think part of this Achieving Educational Excellence in Knowsley, I think it's part of it, has shown improvement in Key Stage 2 education. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. Okay, so in terms of attitudes and experiences, the attitudes are that more than half of residents think it's too hard to achieve a healthy lifestyle. However, around a quarter of them believe that achieving a healthy lifestyle can be enjoyable. So through like exercising in parks or joining community runs and stuff like that. So an example you could use for this is that the average consumption of fruit is higher than the overall England average, so 3.9 compared to 3.6, and this number suggests a positive attitude to diet. I'm not very sure where this metric came from. I find it kind of hilarious. I don't know who's counting the average consumption of fruit, but there's metrics for everything. So in terms of experiences, living in a lively, safe place with a positive community can increase local happiness. Can be observed that increasing in amenities. What? I haven't finished it. I'm just going to put a little thing saying can also increase local happiness. I have no clue why I'd not finished that. Okay, anyway. And by that video, you could clearly see that the attitude towards sort of Knowsley and the people there living there is overall pretty positive. So this is sort of the end of the video. I found one past exam question as a 20 marker. I have realised though, through looking at the past papers, that they usually don't actually really look at this, so possibly could be on this year's exam papers. I don't know. Okay, bye!